So when will they cut Social Security again? Well, if you're over 50, you've probably heard from friends, colleagues, the news, with the web, whatever, that by 2033, the Social Security Administration predicts they will run out of money. Now, for many of us, we've heard that our checks are going to disappear altogether, and that's not altogether accurate. In this video, I'm going to explain what changes Congress has made in the past, and quite frankly, what are the 7 ways they're likely to change Social Security to keep it solvent. So here's the situation. According to the government's 2025 Trustees Report, the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run short by the year 2033. At that point, if Congress has done nothing, benefits will automatically be forced to be reduced by about 23%. Not wiped out, but definitely reduced. So a lot of people are asking, when are they going to cut Social Security again? Actually, Social Security has been changed many times, and in many ways they've reduced Social Security over the years. Let's talk about a few. In 1961, the early retirement age was lowered to 62. However, there was a permanent benefit cut. If you retired early at that lower benefit, it was permanent. You earned that lower benefit for the rest of your life. In 1983, and here was the big one for me, Congress raised the full retirement age, or FRA, from 65 to 67. For so many of us, we think of retirement as 65. That got changed back in 83, pushing that out 2 years before you could retire with your full benefit. That same law in 1983 made Social Security benefits taxable for higher wage earners. So Social Security has been adjusted before, and history tells us it's likely to be adjusted again. Let's talk about history for a second. In the early days of Social Security, there were 45 workers in the workforce supporting one retiree. Let that sink in. You can see how that cost was spread out amongst a pretty big group. Now, today, that number is 3 to 1, and it's soon going 2 to 1. That number alone should make you realize that I've got to be prepared for my retirement, because the likelihood with that number alone that Social Security gets reduced is 100%. So actually, Social Security has been changed many times as they have reduced or reshaped benefits. Let me walk you through some examples. In 1961, the early retirement age was lowered to age 62. However, that came with a permanent benefit cut. The reduced benefits, when you retired early, you're stuck with it, and you stayed at that level for the rest of your life. In 1983, Congress raised the retirement age from 65 to 67, your FRA, your full retirement age. This is the one that got me. As I grew up, I used to always think 65 was it, and that stuck with me over the years. Not the case. That retirement age got pushed out 2 full years. That same 1983 law, when they changed the retirement from 65 to 67, they also made Social Security benefits taxable for higher wage earners. So yeah, Social Security has been changed before, and is it likely to be adjusted again? 100%. Let's talk about history for a second. When Social Security first came out, there were approximately 43 workers in the workforce for every 1 retiree. So let that sink in. You're spreading the cost across 43 people for that 1 retiree. Today, that number is 3 to 1, and it's heading to 2 to 1. So you can imagine, right, the risk, the challenge of funding Social Security as the number of workers active in the workforce continues to shrink. So let's talk about the 7 most likely moves Washington can take to keep Social Security alive and thriving and paying you the benefit that they've committed to. First, raise the payroll tax rate. 6.2% of all of your earnings, the check that you get every single week, 2 weeks, month, is going into the Social Security fund. Your employer, he contributes 6.2% as well into that fund. So one of the levers that Congress can take is to raise that tax. Up a point, up 2 points. It's easy for them to collect. It's easy in their record keeping. It's definitely in the crosshairs of Congress as they think about ways to change. Raise or remove the wage cap. Not everybody realizes that as of this recording, you pay 6.2% up to a certain point, a cap. Today it's $176,100. Above $176,100, you are now paying 6.2%. So it's capped. So what can they do? Remove the cap or increase the cap to bring in extra dollars. Adjust the benefit formula. Now we want to protect lower wage earners, but perhaps reduce benefits for higher wage earners. Next, that one that really hurt me, raise the full retirement age again. Push it from 67 out to 68 or beyond, but phase it in slowly for future retirees. How about COLA? This is your cost of living adjustment. Tweak, change how it's calculated. It will reduce your annual increase, but is a way to help Social Security. Last, means testing. So if you're a retiree and you've got money come in from a variety of sources and significant dollars, phasing down benefits for wealthier retirees. Now, if they choose none of these tools, okay, they ignore it, there's infighting, again, arguing, politics, positioning, 23%, an automatic, guaranteed, already written cut to your benefits by the year 2033. So most experts expect Congress to pull multiple levers and not just one. Again, if they can get on the same page and start working on this problem. So when do they need to take action? The trust fund is depleted by 2033, but realistically, Congress needs to get its act together and at least work 5 to 8 years in advance so that the impact is not too dramatic on retirees. I'll let you do the math. If 2033 is the problem, when should they be working on it? So if you're 50 or older, here's the bottom line. Your Social Security check, it's not going away, but the way benefits are taxed, adjusted for inflation, are calculated for higher earners may and more than likely will change. The sooner Congress acts, the smaller those changes need to be, but waiting until the last minute means bigger, painful adjustments. So, when do they cut Social Security again? The answer is they've done it before, they're going to do it again, but you're not going to lose everything. The real risk is smaller checks if Congress fails to act. And then let me know in the comments, would you? Which of those levers do you think you would pull or that Congress should pull in order to preserve the commitment that the Social Security Administration has made to you?